Top of the morning Sunday to all you night owls out there, all you nocturnal people. I'm your host, James P. Madonna. I'm here with Damian, the Dissenter Owens. Top of the morning. It happens to be the end of summer 2020. The pandemonium, end of summer 2020. And it is the wee hours, but it's Saturday. No, it's not Saturday. Not anymore. It's Sunday. It is 1:11 a.m. Eastern Time. Top of the morning Sunday to you people. And this doesn't mean it's going to be like a happy hee-haw Barney the Dinosaur show, because you're going to hear ranting and you're going to hear true input. We're going to let it all hang out. Okay, like I said before, I'm here with Damian, the Dissenter Owens, who had a real rotten week, almost 1 week, actually. The past several days have been rough for him, and today took the cake. Today was a disaster.
Yeah, you better believe it was.
Today was the worst. It was the pinnacle or the pinnacle of all his horrible days this week, and it has to do with the mask wearing mandate for people that have a medical exclusion from the mask wearing mandate, and asshole motherfuckers who are in a position of authority who don't give a shit if someone has a medical condition or a medical exception from the mask mandate, because the mask for certain individuals is a hindrance. Is deleterious to their health. Is not good. I know for people that don't have a respiratory issue, the mask, not when no one's around you or when you're driving, or you dumbasses that are driving wearing a mask, only if you cannot be 6 feet or more apart away from other people. If you can't do that, you put it on, but you take it off when you have to. You know, if you're jogging at the park, if you're riding your mountain bike at the park, and there's nobody around you for a long distance, there's nobody in front of you, there's nobody on the side of you, there's nobody behind you, why are you wearing the mask? You know, you cannot be wearing the damn mask constantly, because it will hinder your oxygen uptake. Okay, number one. Then you're breathing moist, sometimes wet, respiratory droplets into the mask, making it very warm, wet, moist, and wet. Warm. And what loves that? Fungus, bacteria, all microbes love that environment, warm and wet. So you're creating that environment by wearing the mask too often and too long. But there are employers that are forcing their employees to wear the mask for a whole entire work shift. And even if you don't have a respiratory issue, that will eventually cause health problems because of the reasons I mentioned before. Limiting the oxygen uptake by your body, your cells of your body, your lungs, and creating a haven for microbes, for pathogens, because of the warm and wet combination that's between your mouth, nose, and the mask. But he had a pretty bad day. So he's having a business meeting on and off with people in his organization, because he is planning on doing something that I won't mention, but he's planning on doing it, and it's going to be heavy-duty humdinger. It's going to be big, but he's in the process. Mr. Damian Owens is in the process of planning something really big to gain a retribution and to be Mr. Stars and Stripes himself. Mr. America will take on the corrupt establishment. This is the beginning of his crusade. You've heard of the Billy Graham crusades? Well, this is the very beginning of the Dissenter Owens crusade. The very beginning. So right now, he's having a discussion with the people under him in his organization, and he will, when the people, the other people that are working for him scurry and expedite the premises, he will be talking during this very unique first debut that I've ever done. The top of the morning Sunday, which is part of the pandemonium. Now it's end of summer 2020. Before it was just summer 2020. End of summer 2020. Pandemic pandemonium. I got to think of a cute catch name for autumn that rhymes with autumn. Something that's not pleasant. Pandemic, pandemonium. As much as I love autumn, as far as the weather goes, with what's going on with the pandemic and with the rioters and looters and all this neoliberal crap of kissing ass and giving people special treatment, and the possibility that we can have Tweedledee or Tweedledum elected as president. The two corporatists, the two capitalists that don't give a shit about the little guy, one of them can be in the White House. And who knows? It's a good thing the asteroid that nearly missed the planet Earth was only the size of a car. Yes, an asteroid came very close to the Earth's atmosphere and barely missed us, but it was small. Now, wouldn't it be a kick in the head? Wouldn't it be extremely hilarious if an asteroid like that entered the Earth's atmosphere and went right for the senators as they were running out of the Capitol building, going on their one of many vacations that they take all the time. They work less than part-time hours. So all those right-wing senators running out of the Capitol building, going home, taking their undeserved vacation because they don't really work. They don't really work. They just piss away taxpayers' money and live high on the hog on the taxpayers' dime. And it would be hilarious if a meteor or a small asteroid landed on them. I think that would be so freaking funny. But fat chance of that happening. The third way. The third way should have been the third party created in 2016. If we didn't have Raisin Balls Sanders, the capitulator that never takes it to the end, never fights to the end. He always quits. He gives up. And he endorses a corporatist establishment Democrat. This is the second time he's doing it. I have read so many irate, furious Bernie Sanders donors who have sent him money that are livid because he capitulated for the second time in 4 years. 4 years? 4 years. 2016, 2020, right? Yeah, 4 years. Two times he gave up. He quit. After he collected all that money, and these people are mad. And I was reading underneath every Bernie Sanders post on Facebook, I was reading all these posts by donors that gave money to the Bernie Sanders campaign, and noticed that he quit again. And he, even worse, they're furious that he's endorsing Joe Biden, and they hate him. They don't want Joe Biden. The Bernie Sanders crowd is pissed at the fact that Sanders is telling them they have to settle and get behind Joe Biden. And they know who and what Joe Biden is, and they don't want to support Joe Biden. And they sure as hell are not going to support Donald Trump. So, and I don't see Raisin Ball Sanders creating a new third socialist people's party. We should be having a third party, or Raisin Balls Bernie Sanders and his chubby wife, Jane Sanders. I don't see them coming up with the idea, oh, why don't we join the Green Party? All the progressives of the past always ran with the Green Party. Well, we're progressive. Why don't we run with the Green Party? You had Ralph Nader with the Green Party in 2008. You had Dr. Jill Stein in 2016. Why not Bernie Sanders? Why is he so much in league with the very corrupt, oligarch-controlled Democrat Party and the DNC? What is this fixation that Raisin Balls Sanders, okay, is so obsessed with reforming and saving a very corrupt, corporatist political party that doesn't want to be saved, it doesn't want to be reformed. And he's fixated on this party. This party is shot. Both of the parties are in the underwear and around the genital area of the NWO, the oligarchy. both political parties are not just in bed with the oligarch, they're in their underwear, around their smelly balls. Okay, so there's no returning from this damnation. Now, but I was thinking about that for a long time. People like Sanders really do not have to create a new third party. They can just hook up with a true progressive party, the Green Party. Even Jesse Ventura likes the Green Party. And he was going to run, but something came up. I don't know if it had to do with his taxes. Something came up that wouldn't be suitable for his personal life situation for him to run under the Green Party. I just don't recall what that is, but so, and the man who's running right now for the Green Party is fantastic. He's a true progressive. I've heard him on an interview, and he's a sharp cookie, and he's a real left-wing progressive. I mean, real, genuine. And he's with the Green Party. So I don't see what the big deal is, really. I mean, him and Sanders, unless there's a woman over there worthy enough to be a vice presidential running mate, maybe Dr. Jill Stein and Bernie Sanders. But you know what? Old Raisin Balls made up his mind. He's going to endorse closet pedophile, sleepy, creepy Joe Biden. Pedophile. Oh, I was reading an article, well, it was a banner that really infuriated me, where the company that makes Nike shoes, Nike sneakers, everybody knows Nike, being manufactured in what looks to be China, because all the women making the Nikes were Asian. And there were factory workers, and they had some famous NBA, basketball player endorsing Nikes. I think his name is, they were calling him Mr. James. And they listed that these poor souls, these Asian women, which were probably Chinese women, were getting paid, now hear this, 20 cents an hour, and being forced to work 70 to 80 hours per day. Talk about abuse and exploitation by the evils of greedy capitalism and corporate America. That really infuriated me. So anyway,
I'm here.
All right, I have said enough, and you can say what you want.
Other than just my week was a fucking shitty week, and tonight was the epitome of shitty week. Yeah, got hospitalized for a fucking asthma attack. Yay me.
Yeah, and and the whole store had to watch you get wheeled out.
Mm-hmm. EMS was called and everything. It was bad.
I mean, and this is connected to what I was saying earlier at the beginning of Top of the Morning Sunday about some people that should not be wearing masks for any extended period of time. And that's why I was mentioning that, because of Damian Owens' crisis that
Yep.
he had all week, not just, well, tonight was the worst, but all week on and off. He had to use his inhaler 3 times. 3 times. Was it during the day today, or was it yesterday? 3
Yeah,
times.
today, like 3 or 4 times, and like 3 times before yesterday. And the only reason why I have some strength back to my voice and why I kind of sound halfway normal again was because I was given some steroids and a really extensive breathing treatment at the hospital.
Yeah, prednisone.
Yep, they gave me 40 milligrams, I think is what it was. Yeah, 40 milligrams.
This was by injection, right?
No, the prednisone they gave me in pill form. The breathing treatment, it was I forgot the name of what the breathing treatment was, but they gave me like 10 minutes worth of it, and oh man, it was like nectar of the gods. So yeah, that's been my week. Spent quite a few hours in the hospital. Was taken to the hospital by an ambulance, and that was fun. I'm very embarrassed, humiliated, pissed off. I'm just a mixed bag of emotions all over the damn place.
Well, you told me you're not in a big hurry to return to that job,
I'm
especially
not. I made up my mind. I'm not gonna, because I'm gonna
now.
hold you responsible.
Now the woman in the ER
Mm-hmm.
got
Oh, don't even get me started on
that
her.
got an attitude with you. Did she shut her mouth after you told her that you're here as an asthmatic because of the mask?
She said, "No, they don't trigger, but fine, whatever." That was her remark about it.
Oh, they don't? Well, how come every time you wear it for an extended period, you get the attacks? And
Yeah.
when you don't wear it, you don't get the attacks.
Uh-huh. And
Uh,
that's the exact reason why I'm here. Just, oh, that infuriated me so much.
well, yeah. Well, after you're having the attack and you're humiliated by everyone in the store watching you, then you enter the hospital and you have to deal with her attitude.
Uh-huh. But yeah, just long story short, here's what happened. I I went into work 6 o'clock, and I was already kind of having a bit of a bad allergy and asthma day as is anyway, because it was really hot and humid. Then it just absolutely piss poured the rain, and then it was like really hot and humid again. So I was already having a bad asthma and allergy day as is anyway.
Right.
So I went into work. Um, I'm on a register and doing some things back and forth for like an hour. Then, right about 7 o'clock, I just had to tell one of the front ends, look, I gotta sit down. Something's not right. So I went in the break room. I clocked out, pulled it down, pulled my mask down, and then I sat at the table. I sipped some water, and then I laid my head down and kind of crossed my arms on the table because I got real dizzy and lightheaded. So I laid there for a couple minutes, and apparently I passed out, and I had absolutely no knowledge or no recollection of it. And then whenever I came to, I became even more dizzy and lightheaded, and my chest from my throat all the way down to my lower abdomen became extremely tense and started tingling, and my arms from all the way down here to my fingertips on both sides immediately went numb and started tingling, and I broke out into a terrible cold sweat. Now, to tell one of my coworkers who was just right across the table from me, they said, "We thought you were just sleeping. We didn't know you passed out." And I said, "Go get one of the front ends. Something's not right." So front end comes in. I tell them, "Get an ambulance. I need to go to the hospital. I've taken my inhaler. It's not working." So they get me to the hospital. They go ahead and call EMS. They get me there. I'm hauled off in a stretcher, and I then after that my mind went completely blank and completely fuzzy. I don't remember what happened. I remember I must have waved to one of my coworkers on the way out. I think I remember that might have happened. And as soon as I was outside, because my wife was actually going to come do some grocery shopping tonight anyway, and one of the front ends had actually texted my wife and said he's going to the hospital. He's had a really bad asthma attack. And so my wife was already in the parking lot. I could kind of see her, even though my vision and all that was really blurry. I pointed out to him. I said, "That's my wife. That's my wife right there in the black car right there." So they get me in the ambulance. We're going to the hospital. I remember the paramedic that was in there. She was asking me all kinds of different questions, and I don't even remember the answer I gave to the questions. For all I know, I could have talked out of my ass and made absolutely no sense for all I know. But when I got to the hospital, then they checked me in. Then that happened. That woman caught the fucking attitude. And finally, I don't know if I just made my voice loud enough or someone overheard the commotion, but they went ahead and allowed me to come back on without a mask anyway. So I was taken back to the room, and I remember I was just laying there, and then I came to, and then they took me to do a chest x-ray, which was not fun, considering I was extremely weak. And they had this fucking IV in me, and the way they had me stand, and the way I had to bend my arm to kind of get a clear view of my chest, the IV was putting pressure on my arm and making it hurt to where I couldn't move it certain ways. So that in itself was a disaster. So after that, then they put me back in the room. Then the doctor comes back after about 30, 45 minutes. I explained to him what's going on. And I told him the mask triggered my asthma flare. And I pointed to him exactly the one that I was wearing tonight. And it was my neck gaiter, the really thin bandana cloth-like one. And I said, that triggered my fucking asthma attack. That's why I'm here. So he asks different questions. So they gave me steroids, they gave me a breathing treatment, and they let me go home tonight. So I'm definitely giving my doctor a call in the morning, whenever it's Monday morning, and we're just going to see where it goes from here. My 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 arms and my hands still kind of have like some phantom tingles in them, and my chest. If I move it a certain way, I get like an intensity back in my chest. But once I kind of stretch it back out and relax it, it goes away. But tonight was just it was a trip, to say the least. So yeah, that's my message to you all. You think they're safe? You think they're going to be saving all of us? Guess again. If you don't want what happened to me, to you, don't do it. Take them off.
And how many? And you felt this progressively getting worse as the weeks went by, correct?
Yeah. So the way it started was that there were no mandates here at all, even from the very beginning. Then May 1st is when they decided to go ahead and do it company-wide, and I was very opposed to it. I said, please do not do this. There's going to be more harm than good that comes out of this. Did they listen? No. They went ahead and did it anyway. So first month goes by, no problem. Then in July, I started noticing that my asthma was starting to get worse. A couple weeks ago, I ended up going to my PCP and getting my medical exemption, and he said you could wear the face shield at work. But when it actually came to my exception, and I gave the copy to my manager to turn into corporate and see what they could do, I got two conflicting reports. It was either I heard two different things. You could have a face shield, but there has to be one on underneath it, or yeah, you can without it on anything. But even then, it didn't sound like it was definitive, or really they knew what they were talking about. So I didn't buy it. I didn't want to waste my money on something I obviously couldn't use. So, and this week I was completely fine. And then it started on Thursday. Thursday, it hit. Friday or last night, it got worse. And then, well, obviously Saturday night is when the big shebang finally fucking happened. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, at least you got to tell the testimonial true story of how it progressively came to tonight. It built up to what happened tonight, and you felt it slowly coming on when you first went from exercise-induced asthma to full-blown asthma.
Yeah, and I do want to put the emphasis on my exercise-induced asthma. I got it from my mom's side. My mom has it. My half-sister has it. I have it. I had it under control for many, many, many years. It was not a detriment. I could do many things. I could work. I could exercise. I could do all sorts of things. It was not a detriment. But when that was instituted and it progressed to this, now I could probably maybe, and this is a big maybe, I could maybe walk half a mile, and I mean walk half a mile. There would be no way I could walk a full mile or even like power walk or jog a full mile. There would be really no way I could do like weightlifting or do an exercise bike or any of that right now.
No way.
The only biggest fear that I have is that I'm stuck with this for the rest of my life, that this is permanent and the damage is irreversible. That's the only thing I fear.
Well, what you have to do now that you're going to apply for occupational medical disability, and you're going to have time to do this now. You go to your primary, and you're probably going to have to get a referral from him to see an allergy specialist,
Mm-hmm.
and have him examine you, and he can get the x-ray from the hospital records.
Oh, the chest x-ray came back completely normal.
Okay. All right. So he'll do his thing. I know allergists have their own special allergy-related tests, and he'll tell you, yeah, you have full-blown asthma. He might even tell you what actually triggers it,
Mm-hmm.
and ask him to write up, to produce a letter stating his diagnosis, and that plus your primary care,
Mm-hmm.
plus what happened to you at the hospital, all together, you'll be able to get employment disability. Since the corporation is not being too cooperative,
Well, like I said, I'm gonna hold as many people as I can accountable for this. I'm gonna.
Yeah, definitely make a list, and check it twice.
Oh yeah.
And you'll find out who's naughty or nice. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to be a wise guy, but you know, when when they're available, I have to go for them. And now you're going to be all set with enough data to support your huge lawsuit. And then when the lawyer says, yeah, Mr. Owens, you have a humdinger of a lawsuit. We're going to forge straight ahead with it. Then you go to the media, starting off with where the nearest city that has the TV stations.
Well, there's local, but like I said, I'm hesitant to do it right now, but this needs to be made public. People need to be made aware of this.
Well, nobody really, nobody. People don't read newspapers anymore, do they? That's all. That's kind of old hat, right? Or do they still produce newspapers?
Yeah, here in my area, yeah, there's still newspapers. They sell them for like 50 cents a copy.
Well, you can go to the paper. You can go to a radio station and say, I have a mask wearing pandemic related true story. If you're interested in hearing it, you can they'll probably refer you to a person, sit down with, tell them the story, or her, and see what the station says. The station says, we want to do a story on it, or we want to interview you on video, and tell you you're going to tell the truth anyway in the court of law. So you tell.
If I'm going to school to be a future lawyer, I'm going to tell the truth, because I don't have anything to really lie about.
There's nothing else. You want to call, when you go to the media, you want to call the story "Mask Hole." You can do that.
Mm-hmm. Well,
was a pretty good video, by the way.
Yeah, that had me laughing pretty good. That was pretty funny.
You know what cracked me up is when he said, "Could you lower your mask for? Could you lower your mask, please?" And the guy goes, "Why? So you can kiss my ass."
Yeah. That's kind of how I feel about it.
And when you have sex with your wife, does she have to wear a mask, or is she wearing a mask because she's that ugly?
Maybe not. But
yeah, no, it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. But
anyway, all seriousness, now is you have the ammunition, which is it's going to be all the doctor's reports and your story, your testimonial. And you're going to build up momentum with this, because from this situation, you can forge even farther ahead and do that constitutional lawsuit against Big Schnozola, Hawk-Nosed Mark Zuckerberg.
Well, that, and also, like I said, as many as I can, but we'll just have to kind of wait and see.
Because
the thing is just trying to find someone willing to take it.
Yeah, he really did sell people's private information without their authorization. And now that he's the second, that motherfucker, he's weird. I saw him do his live show interviewing Dr. Anthony Fauci. Zuckerberg, he acts and talks like a strange dude. And then I found out he's second to Jeff Bezos. How does a fucking weird looking and talking geek that vibrates his lips like he's having a nervous breakdown? He was like this. Uh, I have another question, Dr. Fauci. His lips are doing this. This motherfucker is the second richest person, second to Jeff Bezos. You gotta be fucking kidding me. He just passed up Bill Gates slightly, barely.
Oh man.
Those are the people who get to be worth 50 some odd $billion. It was some astronomical sum. I swear, he is a weird motherfucker. I watched the whole video of him interviewing Anthony Fauci, and he's like, and he don't smile. He's very robotic. No smile, no chuckling, no laughter, no nothing. He's like a stone face, like a mannequin, and he's talking like. Can you imagine having to work with him? And this is the guy that ends up being second wealthiest, second to Jeff Bezos. I don't. He has to. The way he behaved during that interview, the way his personality was, he had to have procured his huge fortune by ill-gotten gains. There's no way anybody who acts like that and doesn't even smile throughout an entire interview and doesn't even laugh. There's no way a person like that is an honest businessman with integrity. No way. No way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, right now I'm pretty stone-faced, but the big thing now that I'm going to do is try to recall what happened between leaving an ambulance to when I came to at the hospital. Because like I said, that whole gap right there, I need to figure out what I said or what I did. Because I don't know what I said or what I did.
Yeah, because you lost consciousness.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was coming in and out.
In and out.
Yeah, like I was kind of coming in, coming out, coming in, coming out. And they had this cuff on me to like monitor my blood pressure as well as monitor.
We're doing a live show.
Yeah, hang on. All right. Well, anyway.
So yeah, the blood pressure. Oh yeah, how was your blood pressure throughout this whole year?
High, very high. I think at one point it was like 170, 180 over something.
Oh man.
And my pulse was like 130, 140.
Tell your primary that too. Have them take your heart rate and your blood pressure when you go to the primary.
They do that. That's part of standard procedure. Yeah, it got up that high. So for all I know, you know, it was a full-blown asthma attack, and then a panic attack got triggered by it. But you know, there was this mix of allergy, asthma, and panic all in the same day.
And don't forget, they also test your oxygen level with that clip that goes on your finger.
Yeah, apparently that was normal as well.
So that was normal. Your lung X-ray was normal.
They didn't notice, like, when the respiratory therapist, before he gave my breathing treatment, he did hear that, you know, there was like some kind of like raspiness and wheeziness in my chest, and also like in my back, my lower back. But once I gave him the breathing treatment, I was fine.
Yeah, well, without a doubt, you had a full-blown asthmatic attack. I mean, you showed them what drug you're inhaling. You showed them the drug. Did they say anything about that drug?
What, my albuterol inhaler? No.
Yeah. They didn't say, oh, there's something actually better than that. Oh, no. You should take a stronger dose.
No, I think they're just going to leave that up with my primary.
Yeah. Deal with the primary. If the primary feels, after you tell him and after he checks your vital signs, if he feels that you need to see an allergy specialist, he'll send you to one. If he feels that you just have full-blown asthma and for some reason it's not triggered when you're in the car or when you're home and when you're outside, but it's only triggered when you have the mask on, he should know that. He could decide whether or not you need to see the allergist, or if he definitely knows what's causing it. And that's that. I mean, but definitely forge ahead with it. And you know, when you go back to doing food deliveries, you won't have any problems because you won't be wearing a damn mask.
Well, I mean, I carry my medical exception paper with me everywhere I go. I always keep it in my pocket, even though I probably shouldn't have to.
You're going to have to probably put the Gatorade the Gatorade cloth, the mask on when you go to pick up the food inside the restaurant. But
at this point, I can't.
But you're going to be in there. You're going to walk in and say, DoorDash here to pick up an order for Joe Blow from Idaho. And they're going to say, oh, we got it right here. All right, thank you. Boom. So what is that? It's not even 60 seconds.
Yeah. So, I mean, just right now, my body will not let me. At this point, after seeing what it's caused, I would probably have another anxiety attack, just even putting one on after seeing what it caused. I might just have an associated PTSD with it now. I don't know, but I'm not going to risk it and find out.
Unless you just get one of those plexiglass shields to go in a restaurant and pick up the food. I mean, because the shield is like you got about a couple inches of oxygen right in front of you, like that, and you're not going to be wearing it that long. I just don't want to see the restaurant owner saying, "Hey, you can't come in here." Well, he's not going to talk like that. He's going to say, "Hey, buckaroo, you can't," with the southern accent, "you can't come in here."
I'll just show my medical exception. If that's not good enough, well, the hell with them. I still got a delivery to make.
You got a delivery to make. You got to make some money. You know, you can't be arguing with a restaurant owner. Well, you're not going to be in there that long. So let's say you get the shield. At least you're not going to be, you know, asphyxiated. That's what I'm saying. You're not going to be
right.
It's like a motorcycle helmet, right? It's got the guard, the windbreaker, the wind guard. Pretty much, except it's not a helmet. It's got like an elastic sort of a strap that goes around your head. And you know, being that there's a whole bunch of companies that do that now, you just have to have a good, reliable GPS on your phone. A lot of the Lyft and Uber drivers, they use an app called Waze, WAZE, that not only gives them directions but tells them if there's any like accidents on highways, or if there's if a road is flooded, or it gives them like a traffic report. It's just it's not easy to understand and navigate around, but you're good at doing this stuff, so you'll be able to learn it. WAZE. And that's all. You'd be making a lot of money in tips, possibly more money than this job that you got wheeled out of, especially when you're you're making deliveries like from the daytime until like from the middle, you can start like from lunchtime or late lunch to dinner, and then you quit. Then you come home after after the official dinner period is over with. You call it a day. And
Well, Kingsport's a pretty active city, all hours of the night. So until everything closes, theoretically, I could.
you could keep on delivering and keep on making tips.
Yeah. I think a lot of places. I know different stores now stay open to 11 o'clock now, and most restaurants are staying up until about 10 or 11. Some drive-throughs are still staying open until like midnight, 1 a.m. So who knows?
Yeah, I go for it. Just do it, but it's let's just being that you don't wear the mask in the car, you don't wear the mask at home, you don't wear the
Not
mask
out in public.
you don't wear it outside, that there's a good chance that you'll feel better tomorrow when you wake up.
Yeah. And by the way, I did what you said about the supplements. I noticed a big difference.
Because when your belly is full, you have all your digestive enzymes at peak level, your hydrochloric acid, everything, and then and then you have not only digestive enzymes, you also have the unknown factors and trace elements in the food that work with the supplement.
Right, but I have noticed something, and I've been trying to figure this out. But if you're taking like too much of a particular supplement, does it turn your urine like a fluorescent yellow or like a fluorescent like yellow green color?
Yeah, you know what that is?
What?
I'll tell you exactly what that is. That's the B complex.
Okay, why does it do that?
Because your body, depending on the type of stress your body's under at any given time or day, you don't know for sure how much of the B complex your body is actually using. B complex, like vitamin C, are water soluble vitamins. They're not fat soluble like vitamin D, A, K, and E. It requires fats. They're water soluble, so you will piss out whatever your body doesn't use of the B complex and vitamin C.
Okay.
You could tell if you're taking too much vitamin C because it'll give you the runs.
Well, I have this. So here's the vitamins I have now. I still have my Centrum at under 50, and I take the Super B complex, where it's got like a fuck ton of all the vitamin Bs.
Good.
And I have what's this other supplement for immuno health. It's called Emergen C, but it's also got like plenty of vitamin C, zinc, and a few other things.
Oh, I know Emergen C. That's made by the Alistair company.
Yeah, I've got Emergen C, and then I take I'm back on my magnesium again.
Very good. It has almost 400 different functions, just like zinc in the body, hundreds.
Right.
Functions. I found the capsules. Magnesium complex has like 3 different forms of magnesium in a 2-piece gelatin capsule, and unfortunately I can't find that in zinc. It's only available in a tablet, but it's okay. I just I drink juice or milk or something and just goes right down. The vitamin D and A is a piece of cake. It's a tiny little soft gel. Little tiny little soft gel, and the E is about 2-3 times larger, but it's a soft gel. So the B complex is pretty important for your hair. And
I have noticed. It's got extra biotin, and plus I'm also taking an extra biotin supplement as is with it anyway. And I have noticed My wife has like this it's like a charcoal exfoliating shampoo. I've been using that, and I've been just kind of like letting it just soak into my hair. And then I use the biotin shampoo for my beard, and I'm noticing it ever since I started using the biotin shampoo plus the biotin supplement. It's starting to darken. It's starting to thicken on my face, and I can tell it's slowly starting to fill in here on my cheeks. Now my mustache, it's still doing that little patchy area right here in the middle, but I can tell there's hair there. It's just very light. So I would say probably within about a year, I'll be able to have a full beard at the way things are going.
Yeah, well, that exfoliator is a great idea for your hair, for your head, because, you know, in case your follicles are clogged.
Apparently, that must have been the case along with a biotin deficiency. That must have been the solution because, I mean, if my DHT was normal and was actually on the very low end of normal, which means I have very low DHT.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about the urine being fluorescent yellow chartreuse or yellow submarine or whatever you want to call it.
It didn't scare me. I was just kind of like, okay, this is a bit weird. I've never seen fluorescent yellow pee.
Oh yeah, the stronger the B complex, the more fluorescent it is. Nothing to worry about. You're just excreting unused B complex. And the thing is, that doesn't mean you have to cut back on a pitiful RDA B complex, because you don't know what demands your body has that given day. Like today was a stressful, demanding day for you. So I would say your body's using more. Now, when you're doing something laid back, like not getting sick and delivering food and feeling good, then your body will use a lot less B complex. But you never know. It pays to be a sport and spill a little into the toilet bowl than to not have enough B complex. I'd rather piss some and be a big spender than to be deficient. Right. So, you're working on an issue, with your head.
Yeah, but I have noticed when I feel on my scalp, I can feel little tiny hairs starting to come back. I can feel it. It's starting to thicken back up, and it's starting to not be as patchy. So,
you know what? I bet it could be a combination of, now, vitamin C is also considered a stress vitamin. It could be a combination of B complex and C at a high level with the exfoliating shampoo. I have a feeling, because before you were putting like conditioning shampoo or an additional conditioner on a scalp that was probably oily from too much sebum, sebaceous oils clogging your follicles, and then the hair falls out. Because if your DHT is normal, that's usually the culprit with, men that have the male pattern baldness, that they have to live with. Like George Costanza on Seinfeld. That's DHT. So if that was the case, dihydrotestosterone, you would have to take a strong saw palmetto berry extract, because that lowers DHT. Well, it usually comes with beta sitosterol. It's a plant sterol. Well, actually, that's the active ingredient in saw palmetto. It's beta sitosterol. And that's what those guys need to take on top of the exfoliating shampoo. So yeah, the both of us are under different types of stress. I have to go to my urologist Monday morning and hear the results of my ultrasound and abdominal X-ray. You know, they have to see why my what the hell you call it, Pete? Um, um, certain urological number is high. It shouldn't be high. You know, well, it usually gets higher in older men. PCA, was it? PCA. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, right now I'm just doing my own research. I still hear what you're saying, but I think you're right. I think I do have a case.
Well, one thing's for sure. Get that letter from your primary that you have full-blown asthma attacks when you wear the mask. And when you don't wear the mask, you don't have it, because you're going to need that for the lawyer. And get the type of attorney that specializes in suing people's asses off.
Yeah, I intend to. Everyone I can, and how much I can, I'm going for it. Because people need to be held accountable and responsible for this. There is a way this could have simply been avoided, and it was not done.
No, and they trivialize your dilemma, your crisis. They trivialized it. They acted like they could care less, and heads are going to have to roll. They have to be held accountable. And, you know, and when you start feeling better, you're going to end up with quite an awesome beer brewing kit. That's all I got to say. And your car is going to be fixed up.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on the second stimulus money. Apparently, they've come to an agreement, but the agreement in terms of what the Democrats and Republicans, what they want versus what Donald Trump wants. To be quite frank, Donald Trump is actually pushing more in terms of what he wants for stimulus for this second stimulus check. He wants more than $1,200.
Yeah,
and he wants to do more.
Because he wants people to vote for him. You know, you gotta see. You know, you know that you have a third eye wide open. But you know what? It's better in your pocket. If it's more than 1,200, and you can sure use it, and go for it. You know, maybe with all this extra money, you might be able to get an upgraded smartphone if you happen to have an old one. You know.
All right. Just hang on just 1 second.
Okay.
1 second.
Yeah, I gotta check something myself. Hold on. All right. All right. Avatar. Check testing avatar. 1, 2, 3. Testing avatar. My friend, everybody, I respect you, and they Okay, James P. Madonna here, and welcome to Top O the Morning Sunday. It is pandemic pandemonium, end of summer 2020, and I'm here with my co-host Damian the Decenter Owens, and knock on wood, he will be feeling a lot better tomorrow than he felt today. Now, he's probably feeling decent. He's just stressed out about what happened to him. But since he's home and he doesn't have the mask on, and he's probably breathing in that fresh, cool, crisp central air conditioning, hopefully he has that. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. And when he forges ahead with that lawsuit, he'll be mighty fine. I'm not talking about the pudding company. Anyway, if everybody's feeling well, tomorrow night is a good chance we will be having progressive discussions around, I guess, 10 p.m. We couldn't have Fandango Friday, but some of the other people from the drunken beer community stiffed me. Damien had a rough night. He wasn't feeling well. He wasn't feeling so great Friday, and I couldn't do Fandango Friday. And then this guy I know, this second generation professional wrestler, every time he asks me if I'm doing a beer show and he says he wants to come on, he stiffs me. I won't mention any names, but he does it every time. And I was told, don't trust anybody that you know from the professional wrestling industry. And they're right. He's just being a wise ass, you know. Being a wise ass. That's the last time I'm honestly going to converse with him. You know, Now, there's another person that I hope watches this show, and the guy is brain cell deficient. He's a numbskull. He's a lame brain. He's a pudding head. He's an imbecile. And he is an alcoholic that does not want to admit it. And his name is Mike Hilton. Michael Hilton. I call him Mike Cunt. Mike Hunt. Hunt. Yes, Michael Hilton of San Francisco, California, originally from Chicago, is a douchebag extraordinaire. He's a horse's ass. He's a motherfucker. And he's also a cock-sucking motherfucker. He treated me very rudely on some of his live shows. And then when I told him off, he removed himself from my friends list and he blocked me. And then he says, if you open your mouth on YouTube, I'm going to block you from there also. Well, guess what? I'm going to leave a message on his YouTube channel. And I don't care if he blocks me. He doesn't get any people watching his show. He doesn't have any followers anyway. But sometimes I name names when I have to. So Mike Hilton of San Francisco, California, is hereby inducted into the Progressive Discussions Mega Life 21 official Chiselers Hall of Shame. That's right. You are hereby inducted into the Chiselers Hall of Shame. Shame on you, Michael Hilton. You are without a doubt a cocksucking mother a fucker. Without a shadow of a doubt. Chiselers Hall of Shame. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The people I have met on social media, I could definitely write a book about. Definitely write a book about. So anyway,
oh man, yeah, I'm still doing research.
Yeah, you'll find there might be in the main city near you, there might be a great attorney that will take your case and just, and say to him, is it okay if I bring this to the media? Would it help me? Would it hinder me? And he'll tell you. He'll tell you, hold off for now, or he'll say, let's do it.
I mean, it would mean more if, the both did it.
I think it will give you a lot more ammunition if you went to the media. You went to the media with your doctor's notes to show them and telling your story and telling them that you have a lawyer and there's a lawsuit underway. And that's that.
Yeah, like I said, just the only thing I fear is I just don't want this to be permanent. That is just my really only fear, is I don't want to be stuck with this forever.
Well,
If there's a way I can reverse it or at least get it back under control, I'm all for it.
well, high vitamin C is a very powerful natural antihistamine, and asthma is a form of allergy. There's something called quercetin, which is found in certain foods, Quer, Citin, that was recommended to me for my my chronic sinusitis by Dr. Eric Berg, the guy that does those videos on Facebook. He answered me back, and he recommended quercetin for all allergies. And then see how you feel when you go to sleep tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
just
tomorrow.
yeah, I will see how I feel. But another thing I fear is it's not showing up now, but I wonder if in the coming days, coming weeks, or coming years, if I have some kind of degree of PTSD because of it.
Well, you can't, I hate to say this, but you can't vape anymore. I wouldn't vape.
The vape didn't really help, but at the same time, it didn't really make it worse.
Yeah, but you don't want to fuck yourself up. I mean, look at me. I had a. It's been one week since I had coffee, and they told me at the hospital that caffeine does have negative side effects, and it can be addictive. And
well, I mean, I've not vaped, and I think I hit the vape maybe a week or so ago, and like I said, it didn't help, but at the same time, it didn't really make the situation worse. I kind of just do it whenever, like I'll vape and then I'll set it down, and then I pick it back up and then I set it down. So I mean, I'm not addicted to it because I don't have the nicotine in it. I just do it for the flavor.
I watched a really great documentary about legalized recreational marijuana in the state of Washington, and there's a certain town in Washington where they have most of their marijuana growing, including indoors in a warehouse with special full spectrum lighting, and they're like, and they got boutiques. It's called Raymond, like the name Raymond, Washington. And it used to be a lumberjack town that cut logs into lumber, a lumber mill. And that is no more. So now Raymond is famous in the whole country for the production, including stores, retail, wholesale, dispensaries that sell medical marijuana, boutiques where you can get real special marijuanas, different varieties. It's all in this town called Raymond. And Raymond is not really that far from Seattle. I wouldn't call it a suburb. I would call it a little farther out suburb. But it's not that far. And they're hoping that besides Colorado and Washington, that more states will follow. I'm surprised that Oregon, which is very progressive, which is right next to Washington, didn't legalize it. I'm really surprised that Bernie Sanders' state of Vermont, now Vermont You know, with Jerry Garcia, you know, the Grateful Dead, and the, what is that, Ben and Jerry's. And Vermont is supposed to be a very progressive state. I have no idea why Vermont didn't legalize it and even legalize prostitution, to be honest with you. If a state is known for being progressive, why not legalize those two things? I don't get it. And there's certain things concerning politics or politics I just don't get. Well, I'm surprised. It's Saturday. No, it's not Saturday. I keep on saying it. It's the wee hours of Sunday morning. Top of the morning, and nobody seems to be around except us. But that's okay. People will be able to watch our videos as long as there is a YouTube. Now I joined Twitch, which is owned by Google. No, it's not. It's owned by Amazon. I'm sorry. Twitch is owned by Amazon. Twitch is where they have stream videos, and when I go on, if I go on Mobcam and I do a show, I can automatically stream to Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, all three, and I am in the process of appealing my case with Twitter to get my account reinstated on Twitter, because my account is still there. I just can't do anything with it. I was only able to add things to the description, but I can't do anything else. So if I get that reinstated, then I'll be able to simultaneously stream and record to 4 social media platforms. I know there's Instagram, but I don't think they allow long videos. I think Instagram only allows like 1-minute videos or something. I think it's mostly for photographs. Photograph. And Tumblr, I have Tumblr, Progressive Discussions, but Tumblr does not allow a live streaming. But it's pretty good. It's not bad. They just spam the hell out of your page. You have to scroll down through so much crap, so many advertisements, you know, which I've mentioned, and nobody from Tumblr ever answered me, of course, you know. So well, that's about it. So I guess might as well go back to watching Ancient Aliens.
Yeah, I'm just doing my own research, and
Yeah,
I'm just trying to just make heads or tails as to what I can do.
yeah, just do your research. You don't have to really say much, you know. If you're hungry, make something to eat and see how you feel tomorrow afternoon. If you feel good tomorrow afternoon, then it's definitely The Mask, without a doubt. Like if you wake up and your energy's back and everything's fine, then that's it. It's The Mask. So anyway, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow.